This is the daily schedule if you want to get ripped abs in 2025. I'm going to lay out an entire full day plan, and I guarantee there's probably a few things you're missing if ripped abs is at the top of your fitness goals for this year. So let's just dive right into what should you be doing when you wake up. And I just want to tell you there's a couple key things as we go through this whole day that I see most guys that I work with not doing. So it all starts in the morning. And when we first wake up, we want to set the tone for the day. I know a lot of people out there are going to talk about fancy morning routines. Some guys do like the whole cold plunging thing. They, do some kind of meditation. And I'm not here to tell you any of that's wrong or right. What I found to work really, really good and consistently, because it's easy to stick to something simple for a long time, is to get up and the first thing you should do is drink water. So many of you guys are underhydrated, in fact, dehydrated in a lot of cases, but there's a couple things that I want you to pay attention to here. And the first one is how much water should you try to consume first thing in the morning? I found that some people struggle to drink water right out of bed. So I'm going to tell you at minimum, you should be aiming for about half a liter of water first thing in the morning. If you're really thirsty when you wake up, it's not a bad idea to try to get a full liter of water in. One thing that will make it really, really easy to drink more water is to have it at room temperature. So a little hack that I like to do is I'll take a liter bottle of water and I'll put it next to my bed so that overnight it cools down, and by the time I wake up, it's at room temperature. I know personally, I definitely don't want to drink hot water. I don't know anybody who's a psychopath who likes drinking hot water, but sometimes that like ice cold water first thing in the morning, unless you're just splashing it on your face, it's kind of stressful to drink down first thing. It's like your body's just not ready for that first thing in the day. So half a liter to a liter of water. Now, this is really important, so pay attention here. We don't want to just drink boatloads of water. What I'm going to suggest is adding some electrolytes to your water, because most guys don't realize that just drinking water doesn't fully hydrate you in the proper way. We still want to make sure we're keeping our electrolyte balance fully dialed in. This isn't just salt in water or squeezing a lemon in water or whatever people do. It's literally sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, I'm not affiliated with any electrolyte company, but there are a couple good ones out there. My personal favorite is Element, LMNT. Now, I don't work with Element, so there's no discount code or anything like that for you, but maybe one day I will. Shout out to Element if you're watching. Maybe you'll sponsor this video at some point. Nonetheless, really great product. Little packs that you can just rip open, dump in your water, and they actually taste pretty good. I get my electrolytes first thing in the day to fully hydrate, because a body that's dehydrated is not going to function well, and you're not going to lose fat as effectively compared to when you are fully hydrated. So that's step number one. The second step is we got to get our minds right. Fat loss is a mental game for a lot of us because we're so tied to food and not working out because of stress that we lean into bad habits when the day starts to fall apart. If we're running around like a crazy person, or something goes wrong in our morning or in the middle of our day, we reach for snacks, we reach for sugar, we reach for stuff that's going to lower our cortisol, help us chill out for a minute, but then we get really ticked off because we blew our calories, we give up for the day, we eat a bunch of crap, we drink alcohol, and we start the whole process over and over and over again. My whole goal in the morning is to get my mind right. All right. Now, I'm not perfect with this. I'll just tell you straight up. But when I get in the morning and I read the Bible first thing in the morning, spend some time in prayer, listen to a little bit of worship music as I get the day going, my day is so much better. It's that one win first thing in the day. All right. Now, the other thing that I try to do is journal out affirmations. All right. What am I going after that day? What am I going to accomplish? And it doesn't have to be a long list. A couple quick things. Add a couple things you're grateful for, some gratitude journaling, and you can get off to the races here. We don't need to get crazy fancy. If you want to journal more out, if you want to type out all your thoughts, have at it. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. Sometimes though, my mornings are limited. I got to get things set up for the day. I got to get my kids' lunches packed, and I got to get them to school. So I need quick wins. And then in terms of business and operations and making sure that I'm set up for success, I write down 3 main targets for the day. What are the 3 things that I am going to accomplish today, no matter what? Now, if you're trying to get ripped, shirt off, shredded, all that fun stuff, then you might say, hey, I'm going to hit my step goal for the day. I'm going to hit my meals for the day. Here's where I'm going to eat today, right? Like, so you're super, super dialed in with your targets with big goals. Now, this is the morning wake up time. Okay, we haven't even gotten into the morning like AM yet. Now, all this might be taking place early in the day if you're an early riser, someone who gets up at 4, 5, or 6 a.m. and doesn't have to be at work until 9 or 10, right? I don't know your schedule, but I know a lot of guys who I work with like to knock out their non-negotiable, we call it movement or muscle, in the AM hours instead of waiting until later in the day when they're tired, run down, stressed out. So let's talk about the morning hours. We're talking about the hours of 6 a.m. to basically 12 p.m., right? So middle of the day. What I'm going to tell you to do is set aside 30 to 45 minutes in that morning time to do one of two things. Either hit a strength-based workout, all right, where you're going in the gym, specifically focused on getting stronger, hitting a very straightforward workout. Don't do anything fancy, please, okay? Just stick to simple, dialed in, easy, go crush it, get stronger, get jacked, in and out, okay? No funny stuff, no riffraff, no CrossFit, all right? Or if it's not a training day, because we don't need to train every day. Most of my guys train 2 to 5 times a week, somewhere in that range. We're going to go for a walk because I still want you to build that habit, and you're going to need to get steps in, okay? You're going to need to move more to burn enough calories. The goal, all right, before noon is to either knock out 3,000 to 5,000 steps. So 3,000 to 5,000 steps in the morning before middle of the day. If it's a workout day where you're lifting weights, you might only get 3,000. If it's not a workout day, we can bang out more steps, knock out that 5,000 first thing, first half of the day. All right, so hope you're taking notes because we got a few really killer things coming up that I know, is going to help solve this whole overwhelm when it comes to how to set up your day for fat loss to get ripped this year. All right. If you're a guy over 40, I know you got a lot of things going on. So here's what I'm going to tell you about food. We haven't even talked about food yet. Now, I didn't talk about breakfast because I'm personally not a fan of early morning food. Now, you might be. What I'm going to tell you is keep it high protein, keep it moderate to low carb, moderate to low fat early in the day. A couple eggs, maybe a little bit of Greek yogurt. You can even have like a protein shake. Have something high protein if you're an early morning eater. I'm not. I like to just go without food in the morning. My first meal is around lunch, and it's high protein, filling, but not to the point where I want to pass out and take a nap. What I typically do middle of the day is I'll have, since I work from home, so I know, don't be jealous, right? Like telling you got to do exactly what I do, but this is what I like to do. If I'm out, I'll give you 2 options. One, if I'm at home, I'll usually fry up a couple eggs as my first meal. I might have an English muffin with it, but then I'll have some fruit for some fiber on the side. This is filling, it's high protein, and it's not going to make me want to take a nap right after, right? So I'm not crushing like a huge burger with a bun and fries or whatever. That might come at night, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Or if I'm out, I'll have something like a salad bowl from Chipotle with a bunch of steak. Okay, so I get some greens, get some fiber, get a bunch of protein, and then I want to keep my energy stable. I don't want to feel like, oh crap, like I got to take a nap. I might have some extra caffeine at this point. I do have caffeine in the morning. I didn't talk about that, but I typically have a pre-workout in the morning before I go to the gym. And then I'll probably have like a little energy middle of the morning or early afternoon. So like a coffee or like a healthier energy drink, not a Red Bull, 0-calorie energy drinks. Okay. One thing I like to do after lunch, my first meal, is a quick walk after lunch. Helps with digestion, helps keep your energy stable, and we're adding more activity as we go along. All right. So if you're following me up to this point, this is the kind of stuff that we teach our guys. Now, we build out a custom day for you in our program, right? The True Transformation First Class Coaching System. This is something that we take real seriously. You got to have a day plan that meets your lifestyle criteria, your daily demands. All the things that you got going on have to be met with your schedule. Don't think that this exact schedule is exactly what you should, but it gives you a really good framework. All right. One thing I can help you with too is if you go to the links below in the comment or in the description of this video, we have a free community for guys just like you who are trying to tackle all the things in life, right? Who family guys, work really hard, do really well in life, but you just hate going on vacations because you hate taking your shirt off. You hate how you look in pictures. It brings you down. If that's you, if you're a guy 40 plus or even a little younger, but typically most of the guys we work with are in their 40s and 50s who have kids who just are not ready to give up on their fitness goals, go check that link out. Join our free community. We'll get you linked up with some more trainings. All right. So anyway, we're on to the afternoon. Let's remember to stay hydrated here. Okay. This is a point in the day where energy starts to come down. And one of the big problems I see is hydration levels aren't topped off. So I'm not telling you to go crush another gallon of water, but at this point in the day, I like to be about 2 liters, 2.5 liters in, because the goal for me is to get at least 3 liters of water per day. I like to taper my water as the day goes on, so I'm not having to pee my brains out at night when I'm trying to sleep. The other thing I throw into the mid-afternoon is a protein bar snack. All right. My favorite protein bar is by my good friend Mark Lobliner, who runs Outright Protein Bars. Once again, not sponsored by them. They do sponsor our live events, by the way, which you should absolutely come to once you're in our coaching group. But I do interject my day, my mid-afternoon with a protein bar so that I'm not, grabbing something crappy from 7-Eleven. I'm not doing anything to sabotage my get shredded diet. Okay. Keep in mind, this meal rotation I'm on, these are the similar meals I eat all the time. So I'm not tracking every little calorie. I know what, goes into my food. I know what calories are. I know I'm hitting my protein goal because my meals are set up for me to hit those targets. And I just rotate through them. All right. This is why I save so much time and I don't have to worry about measuring every little morsel, bringing a food scale with me everywhere I go. I know what I can do. The other thing too is that as the afternoon goes on, I try to get up from my desk and move a little bit. If I'm at home, I'll take my dogs for a walk. Sometimes after I pick up my kids from school, we'll go do something real quick, get a little activity in. Usually though, by this point in the day, my step goal is pretty near being hit. I do coach sports at night, so that gives me a lot more steps. Even if I wasn't coaching and my kids were going to do something, I'd still walk at night. So I get my step goal by the end of the night. What we're leading towards here, okay, and this is a big problem for a lot of guys, is the evening. All right, this is where most guys start to really screw up their fitness goals. I've saved a lot of my calorie power for my dinner. I like to come home after a long day, or if I'm already home, I like to come to the dinner table with a good appetite, but I need a decent amount of calories at night. I don't like to eat a small meal at night. Some of you might, and that's totally fine. I like to have a high protein feast meal at night. This is where I aim to get a good chunk of protein, a good chunk of carbs, and a good chunk of fats, okay? Something like a burger and fries, like I mentioned before. My wife might make tacos, right? High protein tacos. We might do, sometimes I eat breakfast for night food. Like I'll make pancakes and stuff. That's me being whatever. I just like breakfast food. Sometimes we do homemade pizzas. Sometimes we do air fryer chicken strips with fries. Like there's a lot of stuff we do, burritos, you name it, right? They're all high protein. Usually my nighttime meal is around 1,200 calories. Okay. The other thing I do at night is I write down to-dos for the next day that I just want to get off my chest. I just don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to be stressed. I just want to know, okay, I'm going to write this stuff down. I'm going to get it done later, or I'm going to get it done tomorrow. I'm not doing the whole try to remember everything because once again, remember, this is a mental game. This is a real big mental game. All right. The other thing is I want to start to taper my fluid at night because I don't want to have to wake up to pee because sleep is so important for appetite control. It's so important for energy. Like I don't want to be getting up 2 or 3 times a night to pee. So I try to really, slowly but quickly get my fluid to a place where peeing after dinner, but then after that, I'm like, I don't really have much fluid coming in. Quick walk after dinner, if I'm not coaching sports, would be crucial just to hit your activity goal. And then it's bedtime, right? I like to supplement with magnesium at bedtime to help me fall asleep faster. If I'm still hungry, I'll have another small protein bar or a bowl of Greek yogurt. I'm saying high protein, but not gonna upset my stomach or keep me up at night because it's digesting all night, right? If I'm kind of wired, right? If I've had a crazy day and my energy is just nuts and I'm thinking about a million things, I might take a hot shower or sit. I have a sauna in my garage. Yep. Cue all the haters who say it must be nice to be a fitness coach or whatever. I did pay for it myself. It wasn't given to me for free, but I have that in my garage. It doesn't get used as often as you might think, but a hot shower or hot sauna is going to heat you up. But then that cooling process afterwards will help you sleep better. So I like my room temperature cold. I like the room dark. I don't sleep with an eye mask. I tried that. I'm too claustrophobic. But me and my wife will watch something for a little bit on TV. Might read a little bit, and then it's night, good night, adult time if it's one of those nights or whatever, right? But anyway, that's the daily to-dos, all right? Those are the things you need to do every day. Not every day is going to be perfect, but I just gave you a framework, all right? So if you're sitting there going, man, all right, I want to try this. Well, here's the thing. This is a very simple framework. It'll probably get you off or on the right foot. But what I can tell you is we have a lot more support for you. All right. So check out the link in the first comment or in the description. We have a lot of stuff. So I put a lot of stuff in the description, including our first class transformation program that's been in business since 2004. We have helped a lot of guys just like you transform their entire life using health and fitness. Check that out and then get into our free community, the True Transformation Community. The links are below. Just go, all you gotta do is join and you're in. And then there's ultimate behind the scenes trainings to get you rolling. Okay. That's all I got for you today. Hope this one helped. Remember, life moves fast, make it count, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.